The Podcast Revolution Network is a collective of independent broadcasters banded together for mutual support, success, and to raise new voices to our platform. Our shows are made possible through listeners like you supporting our cause. For more information on supporting Podcast Revolution, please visit podrev.org. That's PODREV.org. Thank you. Well, hello. How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Says podcast. This is the S. Anthony Thomas, and this is episode number 239. Oh yeah. How are you doing? Now, before we get started, my friends, it's really cool because you guys have been so cool to me that I constantly have things to thank you bastards for. And I want to say once again, I want to say thank you for your response to the 3rd anniversary show. I really appreciate it. Much love to you. Thanks for the kind words and all the other stuff that you always do and telling everybody. I really appreciate it. And also, which is really interesting, my birthday is literally a couple of days after the anniversary for the show. So thank you, everybody, especially on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff for the birthday wishes and for the kindness. I really do appreciate it. And somebody wrote to me and wanted to know how to spell the hashtag #SassBastard, because a lot of you have written, I'm a sass bastard, and I appreciate that, but you're not a sass bastard. You're a sass bastard. The new people don't know how to spell bastard. So this is how you spell the hashtag, damn it. Hashtag capital S, capital A, capital S, capital B, lowercase a, lowercase s, lowercase t, lowercase I, lowercase d, lowercase s. SASBASTIDS. Sass bastard. That's the hashtag. Not sass bastard, because that's not how my accent pronounces the word bastard. I say bastard. And damn it, that's what you are, my sass bastards. I got a couple of DMs regarding the email address, because people were sending email to the wrong address or misspelled the email address. I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm going to spell it all the way out, so you don't get that email not not delivered, or some person with a similar email going, what were all of these people writing me? What the hell is this? So the email is talktoosanthony@gmail.com, and I'm going to spell it out. TALKTOSANTHONY@gmail.com. talktoosanthony@gmail.com. So that's my email for the show. Okay. And if you can't remember that, just know that if you go to my my Instagram, which is of course S. Anthony Thomas, there's a contact button up there. You can click that, and it actually connects to the talktoosanthony@gmail.com email address. If you can't remember it, just do that, okay? Because I know some of you have started to follow me on Instagram as well. Now, folks, now that we've gotten through this wonderfulness of you being great to me about this show being 3 years old and my old ass hitting 48, I just want to let you know right now, I got what I thought was a late birthday gift recently. You see, I went to my breakfast place, my friend, and it's one of those places where it's like Cheers. You know, everybody knows your name, and they know me by voice, as it turns out, because sometimes I call in, and it got to the point now where, as I told you in an earlier podcast, I pick 55,000 different restaurants to go to. All of them have one thing I think they do best, and I go to that place and get that. I don't go to one place and got to get a bunch of different things. I go to different places for whatever they make the best. That's how I am. That's how I roll. Right? So when I call up, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. Hello? Hey. Hi, yes. You want whoop-de-whoop and bloop-de-bloop and scoop-de-boop and boop-de-boop with a side order of whoop-de-whoop and scoop-de-boop? Yes, of course. Thank you. Okay, we'll have it ready for when you get there. And one of my friends goes, You up there smiling like you something, man. The only reason they know what you order is because they probably got your phone number, and that's it. You ain't nothing, man. You big. I said, stop being jealous, punk. So I wait a week, and this time I'm calling from his house and his number. And he goes, yeah, well, let's see if they know who you are now, man. And I go, yeah, let's do that. In fact, let's put it on speaker so you can hear it yourself, so you know I'm not trying to be slick. Boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, beep. From his number, by the way. Hello? Hey. Hi, yes. You had a different number this time, huh? Mm-hmm. You want a whoop-de-whoop and scoop-de-boop and floop-de-boop and whoop-de-boop with a side or a whoop-de-whoop? As a matter of fact, I do. Okay, it'll be ready soon. And he looks at me like, you still ain't nothing. I'm going, ha-ha. When you got a voice like this, punk, everybody remembers you because my voice is smooth. Oh, yeah. And I said that to him. And he drop kicked my punk ass down the steps. And I said, listen, man, I'm the one that does the drop kick. And he goes, I listened to your show. I knew you were going to try to drop kick me, so I drop kicked you first. And I said, you bastard. And he says, I knew you were going to say that too. And then he drop kicked me again. And then I drop kicked him. And he went, hey, you're good at drop kicking. I said, I am. Here's more proof. Then I drop kicked him again. Now we're even, punk. None of that happened. Except for the phone call part. That part did happen. So I go to this place and I'm sitting there, and this is where I get my my birthday present that I was talking about. Kind of my birthday present, I should say. I get in there, man, and I'm sitting there and I'm ordering my breakfast. And I was thinking about getting it and leaving and going home or going someplace else or taking it where I was going to go. But as it turns out, it would have gotten cold. And I don't want to have a cold breakfast. I want to have a hot breakfast. That's the idea of having breakfast. If it's a hot breakfast, you want it hot. If it's a cold breakfast, you want it cold. But this was a hot breakfast, so I wanted it hot. So they make my breakfast, and I'm sitting there eating my breakfast, and I'm digging it. And I got my phone out, and I got it balanced up, and I'm reading some tweets from you weirdos, and some of them are good, and a lot of them are good, and most of them are good, because I realized I better not critique your tweets, because you're my audience, so all of them were good. Some of them sucked. Right? And so much, and somebody tweeted something that was funny, and I went, I like that. And the lady comes in. And she's really beautiful, beautiful young sister. And she walks in, and I look at her, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and looking at her, and I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at her, because she's very attractive. She stopped looking at me at some point, but I was still looking at her. Don't judge me, bastards. And she sits next to me, and I'm sitting there enjoying the tweets, trying to act like I'm not sneaking peeks at her, because I'm like, oh, this tweet is interesting. Sneak us a peek, and back to the tweets. Don't judge me. She was hot. And she sees me laughing at the tweets and stuff. And she goes, hey, what's that? That's funny. And I go, hey, it's pretty good, right? Yeah, I got some good followers and good people I'm following and all of that crap. And then she says, that's what, and she starts flirting. Oh, yeah. That's right. The old guy still got it. Young, beautiful 20-something sister flirting with the you-know-who. I don't want to say his name, but his name rhymes with Anthony Jamas, a.k.a. me. Oh, yeah. And I'm flirting back at her, and she's flirting with me, and I'm flirting at her, and she's flirting with me. But I don't take it really, really seriously. One, she's too young for me to really take seriously. I mean, it's not unethical for me to get it on with her. It's not, it's not unethical. I can do that. People would kind of look at me funny for a second before they go, I don't blame them. But just too young. I mean, not, just like 3 or 4 years younger than the lowest I'm willing to go out with. But I was still thinking about it. She's flirting with me, and I'm flirting with her, and she's flirting with me, and she's flirting with me, and she's flirting with me. Notice how last time I looked at her, and she was only looking at me, but I looked at her, and looked at her, and looked at her. Well, this time she was flirting more than I was flirting. Mainly because I stopped flirting because I know I can't take this woman seriously because she's young. I can't do it. I mean, I could do it. Oh, I could do it. But I wasn't going to do it. And then she starts to touch. I can see her hand going towards my arm, and I know, oh no, she's going past the flirting to the flirting plus arm touching. And just like any other guy, I made it a point to flex my arm. So when she touched the arm, it was hard. And she touches my arm, and she goes, oh, you're working out a little bit, aren't you? You're working out a little bit, huh? And her hand's still on my arm, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm trying to get back in shape. I'm a fat bastard right now. I mean, I'm rapidly shrinking. I'm not a gigantic fat bastard, but still a fat bastard right now. But in a few months, I won't be a fat bastard. But right now, yes, I am working out. And she's still squeezing my arm. And for your age, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do a little lifting, And another thing, your arm, and the whole time I'm thinking, please stop holding on to my arm because I cannot flex this damn thing much longer. And she's still holding to my arm. And I'm trying to reach for something to grab it on the counter so she'll let go of my damn arm before she squeezes my arm and realizes it's not as hard as I thought it was, you bastard. And then she goes, my arm's now hurting. Because if you flex a muscle that hard for that long, it hurts. And the fact that it's so flexed and so she's really enjoying squeezing, and I'm going, I gotta get this babe's hand off my arm because I'm gonna need surgery soon. I can hear tearing in there. And she lets go of my arm, and I'm going, yeah, I work out a little bit, and now my arm is hurting really badly, and I'm trying to eat with my left hand. because my right arm ain't working right now because it's hurting. All of that because I'm trying to show off for a woman that I'm not even going to date or get it on with unless she lets me. No, I'm not going to do it. And I'm going, yeah. And she's still flirting. And I'm like, yeah, girl, but you get and all of that crap. And I'm going, okay, I'm just going to flirt with her a little more. Maybe investigate, see whether or not she's really interested. But I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like it's like knowing you're on a diet and there's a delicious cupcake right there. And you know now that you could probably have the cupcake, but you shouldn't have the cupcake, but you really want the cupcake. And then you move your hand past the cupcake and some of the frosting gets on your fingers. And then you taste the frosting on the cupcake that's now on your fingers. You're tasting, you're going, damn, I knew it was going to be delicious, but it's even more delicious than I thought. And now I really need to bite this cupcake. Well, she was a cupcake. And her smiling and touching my arm and telling me how cute I was. And I'm not that old. That was the frosting getting on my hand. I tasted it and I wanted more. Ha ha. So I'm looking over at her and I'm going to flirt. And I'm not going to jump on top of her. I'm not going to do anything to her. Maybe. But I'm not going to do it. 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 That's what my brain is saying. And I was winning. So don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. I'm going to flirt a little bit, then I'm going to shut this down. And as I'm doing my final flirting, some guy walks in. And he's one of those dudes he's got the pants down. He's a little too old to be having his pants sagging. You understand what I'm saying? He's dressed up like a hip-hop kid. And I'm going, dude, use a little geriatric for the hip-hop. If you 30-something years old, pull your fucking pants up. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking like he's in his early 30s. And he walks in and he kisses her on the cheek. And I'm going, what's going on here? Now, even though I had made the decision that I wasn't going to pursue this woman, I was still a little upset because, wait a second. She's flirting with me and she's got a dude. She's trying to get my ass kicked or whatever, or make me kick somebody's ass. What the hell is this? But I couldn't really tell by the kiss whether or not this is one of those, man, this is my woman, yeah, kiss, or, hey, I know you, and I know you're well enough to put my mouth on your face, but not enough to do anything else, kiss, because I couldn't tell. And I'm looking at her, my sweet cupcake, and I'm going, damn it. I got me go back to my food and finish my food up and pretend I'm reading this phone when I'm really actually turning the phone the angle so I can see the reflection in the phone and see what they're doing. And why am I doing all this for a woman I don't even know? What the hell is this crap? And she walks him over to the side and she says, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm like, okay. And she walks over let's have they want to have a private conversation. But they only took like 2 steps. I'm like, how are you going to have a private conversation and not lower your voice and be 2 steps away? And I could hear her sweet voice. And he's like, yeah, baby. And another thing, yeah, and then I started to be able to make out what they were saying. And I could hear her voice. And all of a sudden, that sweet voice from that delicious young cupcake started to change a little bit. Oh, no. Was the sweet cupcake? Or was it a cupcake with a razor blade in it? I'm starting to think she's a cupcake with a razor blade in there. Because now he's like, and another thing, man, I can't believe this is some bull, man. I'm trying to sell my weed, and then I'm sitting there, and these damn cops come up. I'm thinking that the dude is a friend of mine, right? And I thought he was going to come in there and try to buy some weed or something like that. And as it turns out, he called the damn cops. Luckily, by the time the cops got there, I had stashed my stuff, man. I didn't even have a gun on me. I thought, that's how much I trusted the dude. You know what I mean? It's a good thing, too, because if I'd have had my gun on me, they would have been all up on me. I might have got my ass whooped. I might have got shot. I might have got arrested, As it turns out, I didn't have no weed on me, and I didn't have my gun on me. It was a good thing, man. And the girl who was a sweet, delicious cupcake, well, I got a little bit of a frosting on my hand. Her voice went from this to this. You mean to tell me I set that bastard up to come in? I told him that you had good stuff and he gonna come up here and try to get the cops to arrest you? Oh, don't worry about him. I'll take care of his ass. I'm gonna kick his ass myself. Understand? I'm gonna fuck him up.
gonna try to mess up cause you supposed to, I don't even really get into the business like that. I just wanted to make a couple extra dollars by sending some of my friends over to get some weed, and I get a little bit of a cut, and I send that mother sucker over to you, and he gonna try to mess up. That's like I don't make a lot of money where I work. I do okay and everything, but that mother sucker she didn't say sucker, that mother sucker's gonna do that and cost me, I make $700-800 a week off this. That mother, I'm gonna take his ass. You don't even worry about it. I got his punk ass. I got his ass. I'm gonna have him come over to my house. I'm gonna sound all sweet like that to him. I'm gonna wait till he come to my house, and I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna beat him and stab him and shoot him and stomp him and kick him and stab him and stomp him and drop kick him and stab him and shoot him and stab him and set it on fire and beat him and stab him and kill him and stab him and kill him and revive him and kill him and stab him and beat him and kill him and kill him and kill him and beat him and stab him and beat him and kill him and double stab him and triple stab him and kill him. You really gonna do all that? Remember that time when I sent somebody over to you and you didn't have my money on time?
Yeah.
What did I do to you?
Well, you beat me up and stabbed me and shot me and beat me and stabbed me and killed me and beat me and beat me and beat me and stabbed me and killed me and revived me and beat me and stabbed me and beat me and stabbed me and beat me and stabbed me.
So you know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not even in the business. I'm just trying to make my money. By sending people to you, and you give me a little bit of cut of the people that I send to you, and this mother sucker, I'm gonna kill him and stab him.
You said that already.
You interrupted me.
No, don't kill me and stab me and beat me and stab me and beat me and stab me again. You already did that. I don't want that to happen again.
Now shut up. Get out. I'll take care of that bastard myself. That mother. Ooh.
And I'm overhearing this. And I'm going, oh, God, just imagine if I jumped on top of her and I put the magic that is me on this woman and gave her the good stuff for me, right? And I would have known that the relationship wasn't going anywhere. I would have known eventually she wouldn't have worked out. Most likely, hopefully, she would have dumped me, so I wouldn't have had to waste my time doing it. But I know it wouldn't have worked out. And what about I'm doing my comedy or my podcast someplace and I don't come back in time, and all of a sudden she goes
so you mean to tell me the show ended at 2:00 and you didn't get here till 4:00? I'll beat you and stab you and beat you and stab you and double stab you and kill you and beat you and set you on fire and stab you and beat you and kill you and double stab you and beat you and stab you and kill you and stab you and revive you and kill you and revive you and beat you and stab you.
I'm not going through that crap. I just heard who you really are. You are a delicious cupcake, but you're a delicious cupcake with my 9 razor blades inside. Razor blades dipped in dookie, and I'm not eating no cupcake. It looks delicious on the outside, but on the inside, razor blades dipped in dookie, and I don't want no dookie cupcakes. Hell no. So she comes back and sits next to me.
Oh, so I had to talk to a friend of mine. So anyway,
and I'm sitting there going, I don't want her to know that I heard what you said. So I guess I got to do this fake ass flirting till I finish this food and get the hell out of here. And I'm talking, fake flirt, and you real flirt, fake flirt. I just want to get away from your crazy ass.
And another thing, you have cute dimples.
You're crazy, but my face doesn't say you're crazy, but inside I know you're nuts, and I'm going to get the hell away from you. You've all been there where you see somebody and you think that they're one thing, and then you find out that there's something else, and I found out that she was something else, something I didn't want to deal with. Oh, no. I've been there before, man. I know what it's like. I've been there before. You've all been there before. I know you ladies, you've been there before. You see a guy, you think that guy's cool, you think your guy's nice, and you find out that he actually runs a serial killer training school. You know what I'm saying. And they want to deal with that bastard. But it was really, really weird, man. It was like, my birthday gift was the fact that she was flirting. Oh, the old guy still got it. And then I realized, I still got it. But she needs to get her ass to some place where she can get some psychological evaluation. And I never really understood that. When I would see like a really, really wonderful young lady, beautiful off the charts young lady, and you see them, and it always cracked me up when I would see them, and you'd be walking down the street and you see this gorgeous young lady. I'm like, oh, well, she's really put together. And that's an older guy. I'm right at the line where sometimes I see these, like a young 20-something, and I'm thinking, man, if I have a daughter, I hope she turns out like that. But the other half of the time I'm going, man, I want to bang the crap out of her. So I'm right in that age right there where half the time I'm paternal, and the other time I want to take him to Bang City. And in this case, I wanted to take her to Bang City. But it's really weird when you see them, and then you see them, and she looks like she's well together. She's got the clothes, she's got the walk, she's got the style, she's got the class. And then she walks up, and you see her tongue kissing a guy on a bike with like a bag of weed hanging out of his back pocket. And you're going, really? You have your pick of every dude who can see and you pick that bastard. Why? Right? And I never understood that. I mean, if that's what you're going to use as a way to get what you want, if you're going to use your incredible looks to get what you want to do, why don't you do something for yourself? Become a model, become an actress, do something, right? Because if I was super duper good looking, if I was super duper good looking, and I wanted to bank on my good looks, do you know what I would do? If I was like, look, I look good, I just want to have somebody else take care of me. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to hang outside Oprah's house. I'm going to go hang outside Tracy Ellis Ross's house. I'm going to be outside. I'm going to be going to a tennis rack to one of Serena Williams tennis games with my shirt off. I'm going to find a way to find a gorgeous woman or a rich woman who's going to take care of me, who's doing something productive, who's doing something where there's not going to be someone trying to shoot her in the face to take her product. I'm going to do that. Right? If I was a super hot woman and I didn't want to, and you know how it is. You have like a gold. If you're a gold diggers are smart. Gold diggers are smart enough to know go after the guy who's making money on Wall Street or he owns some businesses and all of that kind of crap. If that's your goal, you know, I'm not knocking. If your goal is I'm incredible looking, all I want to do is have somebody take care of me, and that's like I said, men or women, go after somebody who's not going to be doing something horrible, right? I mean, if you're a really good-looking dude, you'd be better off hitting on some rich lady, right, who owns some businesses. You don't want to go after the lady who's an arms dealer, do you? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, right? Hey, girl, you're really attractive. I was wondering, you have a girlfriend? No, I don't. I'm too busy in the gym working out with my giant penis and incredible six-pack and going to the doctor and making sure my blood tests are clean. And by the way, they are. Really? As a matter of fact, they are. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was getting a phone call from my tantric sex teacher. Seeing as how, you know, I'm now at the point where I can have sex for hours at a time. Really? As a matter of fact, you know what I really like? I like older women with low self-esteem but lots of money. Why, that happens to be me. Really? I couldn't tell. I just happen to have my suitcases right here. How about I just move into your house and begin banging the crap out of you right now as you buy me stuff? This sounds like a good deal. What do you do for a living? Oh, me? I run a drug cartel. Well, it's money. What the hell? Right? And then what happens? You get shot. You get killed. And if you're in the case of a woman, when you go out with a drug dealer or somebody like that, what happens? He gets shot. He gets killed. And now all of a sudden, you got nothing. Because you know he ain't got a pension plan. Huh? Ever seen a bunch of old drug dealers in Florida sitting on the porch and when swinging rocking chairs in a mansion, talking about, remember the good old days when we were selling death to the community? I am so glad I got out at exactly the right time. Not only did I have $100 million in the bank, but the police didn't even know I existed. Me too, but hey, I'm smart. It's just like you. That doesn't happen. What happens? They wind up in jail. They wind up with bullets in their ass, or you wind up with bullets in your ass because they can't find him. So why? So like I'm saying, I'm sitting there watching this lady, and she's flirting with me and flirting with me and flirting with me, and I was considering taking her to the Bang City, and I'm glad I did not. I mean, as it turns out, I wasn't going to do it, but I just wanted to just kind of, get that feeling again. I'm used to women my age, 35 up to my age, 48, flirting with me, because I'm S. Anthony, you know what I'm saying? I mean, with this voice, I got news for you. I listen to my own voice, and I bang me. I need to edit that part out. But what I'm saying is, when you have the young lady doing that, it was kind of cool. And because I wasn't going to pursue it. I wasn't going to try to move in on her or anything like that, in all seriousness. But it was fun to have her flirt with me like that and tell me how cute I was, and the dimple thing and the squeezing my arm thing and all of that. But I was kind of disappointed, because I was sitting there going, oh, man. Because as it turned out, I didn't talk about it in the little sketch there. But, as it turned out, the dude that she was talking to was actually her dude. He apparently was selling marijuana or whatever. And she in her, whatever her capacity of her job was, maybe she worked she worked someplace where she ran across a lot of people, and then, she would assess them. And then you get into conversation with people. Oh man, I really wish I could find some weed. And she go, as a matter of fact, I know someone. And then she'd steer them to that person. I guess I can't say 100% that's what was going on, but that's from what I could overhear. That's kind of like what was happening. And I'm sitting there wondering. It's like, really? That's who you choose to I mean, you look like a fucking model, man. I mean, not if you were, quote, less attractive, unquote, which I don't necessarily buy into because I don't necessarily use the media idea of what attractive is. I know what I like, and what I like is perfect for me, and I don't care if you like it or anyone else likes it. But, if you have that, if you fall within what we're told is attractive, the body type we're told to like, the face or shape we're told to like, if you fall within that and you want to use that, if that's your thing, if you, like I said, if you don't want to work, you want somebody to take care of you, why don't you at least pick somebody that's going to take care of you, that can take care of you? That they're not going to have somebody try to shoot them in the face. They're not going to have a SWAT team bust into their house and take all their shit. Never understood it. So I finished my breakfast. By the way, after that little rant, I'm back to the breakfast place. And the funny thing is, after all this talking, in the story that I'm actually telling, I've literally only eaten half of my breakfast at this point, by the way. So I'm finishing up my breakfast, and I'm trying to turn the flirt button down because I'm trying to get rid of her now. Because I now know what, she's a cupcake filled with razor blades covered in dookie. And and I'm trying to turn the flirt button down. You know what I mean? I'm trying to start conversations with the lady behind the counter, who I was going to talk to anyway. And she's, and then I pulled out I got to get this phone call. I paid my check. Yeah, hold on a second, I got to make this phone call. And I put my earphones in and I'm like, hey, person that's not really there. Random words as I walk to the front door. And I look back because I'm hoping to God she's not following me. And she's looking at me and smiling. I'm like, I smile back at her. And I walk and I stand by the door and I look back. She's still looking at me and I pretend to do the conversation. And I look back and she's not looking. And I ease away from the door and I walk down the street. I get in my car and I get the hell out of Dodge. It was an interesting morning, to say the least. Because it was, like I said, it was really weird because, like I said, it started out so cool. It started out where I'm just sitting there trying to get this grub going. And I have this beautiful young girl all up in my face. And then I find out that she's maybe selling weed with her boyfriend and has no problem whooping somebody's ass. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes something bad happens. Or something good happens and it turns bad and you kind of focus on the bad part. You kind of focus on the bad part and don't realize you should focus on the good part. Yes, she's probably going to wind up in jail at some point. I'll be a distant memory, thank goodness. This dude's probably going to wind up with 8 bullets in his ass. I know that. It's really sad to see these two people, youngish people, one young person, one a youngish person, realize that they're ruining their lives and there's nothing I can do about it. And it's really, really, really sad. But let's look on the bright side. She was hot and she wanted to give me some ass. I mean, isn't that what's really important? Yes, they're ruining their lives. But let's talk about what's important. She would have banged me if I wanted to. And that's what's really important, right? So the moral of the story is, it doesn't matter if someone's making horrible life choices. It doesn't matter if someone's going to wind up in jail. It doesn't matter if they're ruining other people's lives. The most important thing is if they're hot and they wanted to bang you and you know it. So as it turns out, maybe I did get a good Christmas gift. Good birthday gift. Hot young woman wanted to bang the crap out of me. And then I found out she was crazy before I banged the crap out of her. And I dodged a bullet. Granted, those two probably will not be able to dodge bullets because, let's be honest, they're kind of in a dangerous lifestyle. But let's get back to how much she wanted to bang me. And that's all that's important, right, everybody? And I know what you're thinking. Yes. That's an interesting story about the young woman wanting to bang you, but don't you feel sorry for them? Yes, I do. But you know who else I feel sorry for? Other 48-year-old guys who did not have a hot young woman wanting to bang them a couple of days ago. Yeah, that's right. I know some of you are 48 years old, but how many of you the day after your birthday or so, or right around your birthday, had a hot young woman wanting to bang the crap out of you? I bet you didn't. Then again, if you did, who cares? Because this is about me, damn it. Stop ruining my shine. Let me just sit here and think about it. Beautiful young woman wanting to bang the crap out of yours truly. Granted, she was crazy, but we're going to gloss over that part. Don't ruin this for me, bastards. Segment over. Well, bastards, I got to admit something to you. Now, for those of you that have been listening to this program for a long period of time, or for the past whatever amount of time, you know that the smartphone that I have right now is my first smartphone, and you also know why it's my first smartphone, because my other phone was not a smartphone, the one I had before that, and it didn't break at all. It still worked. It still worked perfectly. And I'm one of those people, if I have something that works, I'm not trading it in just because something else does some crap better. I really don't give a crap about that. I don't care. But eventually I had to get that phone. I'll be honest with you, technically the phone still actually works perfectly, but the service for that phone no longer exists. And even the service provider was like, listen, jackass, get a smartphone. Okay, we're tired of working with that bull crap service. All right. We actually threw those towers down because those towers were made out of wood, and all the hamsters that were powering those towers have all retired or died or been eaten by large birds. So listen, jackass, get a real phone, punk. Join the 21st century, punk. We're getting sick of you. And the funny thing about it was that was the actual text of the letter they sent me. No, it wasn't. But I got this smartphone. And the funny thing about it was, and I talked about it in an earlier episode, where I used to make fun of people in my mind about how they would always be staring at their smartphones and walking down the street with the stupid earphones in, and everything was smartphone this, smartphone that, this, that, and all of that crap. And then I talked about how I became one of you. And I have to say right now, I am absolutely 100% one of you now. And I realized that the cell phone, the smartphone, has taken over my life, just like it took over everybody else's life. People think that having a husband or a wife, when you get married, your husband or your wife takes over your life. No, they don't. They may make you not spend as much time with your friends, which isn't a big deal because you actually want to spend time with your spouse if you're happily married. But they don't take over your life. But your phone does. Oh, yes, it does. It starts to do amazing things, and then you start getting to the point where you start relying on it a little bit too much. Right? I already talked about how I used to always have my GPS with me, and I loved my GPS, and my GPS was great and cool and all of that crap. But my GPS was one of those ones I wanted to get that was inexpensive. And because it was inexpensive, and keep in mind it still works perfectly, it does not have real-time traffic on it. And as someone who's in his car a lot and has to go to a lot of different places, who's almost never home, I need to know the traffic. As it is now, when I walk into my house and I sit down in the chair, my living room goes, and you are? And I'm going, it's me. And they're going, and it goes, me who? My friends even know not to just randomly stop by the house because 99.9% of the time, I ain't going to be there. That's how much I'm in the car moving around. So the GPS is important to me. But as I just said, my GPS does not have real-time traffic. But I have a smartphone now. And I'm flipping around looking at stuff that the smartphone can do, and I noticed this thing called Google Maps. Now, I had always used Google Maps before. You know, I would get directions to a place. I'd print that crap up. I'd get in the car and I'd just drive around and I'd just, okay, make a left at here, exit this and this, that, and exit that and double exit and triple exit and all of that crap. And it was great. It got me where I wanted to go. But then I realized, hey, this crap has Google navigation, real-time traffic. What? And it doesn't cost me anything. I just have to use the phone that I already purchased. And the service I already have. What? And I have it on in the car. And I was going someplace where I knew how to get there. So I wouldn't even have taken my GPS anyway. But I had the phone in the car. Right? And I got one of those little mounts for the phone. And I got the mount for the phone basically because I didn't want to do Bluetooth because that's annoying. And I wanted to be able to answer the phone, you know, and just reach across and answer the phone and speaker phone it up. And I go, there's a lot of traffic up there. I wonder, And I go to a red light and I flip the thing and I go to the phone and I push the Google Maps and I type in where I'm going to go. And I'm driving. I'm going to see how good this thing is, because I bet my GPS is better than this, because my GPS is just a GPS. And this is a phone with some GPS function on. I bet my real GPS kicks the GPS's ass. I was not right about that. I'm driving up and I see this big snarl of traffic. Oh, no. And my phone goes, beep. Rerouting. I found a faster route for you. Okay. So let me see what this phone does. And I follow the route of the phone. And what happens? There's almost no traffic in the reroute. You understand what I'm saying? It rerouted me to a place where there was almost no traffic. How did the phone know where the traffic was? How did the phone know, damn it? How? And I realized, and I found out later on, that all of our phones have the GPS in it. And when we have the phone on, basically you're reporting where you are, and thus your speed, and thus where the traffic jams are. We're all reporting, whether we know it or not, on the traffic. So it knew where everything was. So then I stopped taking my GPS with me. Why should I take my GPS? It doesn't have a real-time traffic. I still love my GPS. My GPS is still great. I may even use it again, but probably not. So I take the GPS and I put it on the desk, and I put it into the case, and I put it in and I slide the GPS into the little box at the top of the desk where I keep electronics and stuff. And I touch it one last time, knowing that probably this is goodbye. And I actually hear the song from the Hulk, from the 70s era Hulk TV song. You remember the 70s era Hulk TV show with Bill Bixby? Bing, 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 bing. It's called The Lonely Man, as he walks down the highway thumbing with his thumb out trying to hitchhike. That's how I felt when I put the GPS down, because the phone made the GPS obsa-freaking-lete. And I felt bad because the GPS still worked good. But that's okay. This cell phone's not going to take over my life. It does that, but that's okay. I still have other stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't go to the store. Let me get my MP3 player out and play some of my music, because, I got all my Prince music on there and my other music on there. And I'll wait a second. I have a memory card in my smartphone. So I plug up the MP3 player to the computer, and then I plug up the phone to the computer. And I click and drag hundreds and hundreds of songs over to my phone, and it takes seconds. All of the songs that were on the MP3 player are now on my phone. I look at the phone, and it didn't even touch the memory that I have on the memory card. And as it turns out, the way that they're played on the phone is far superior to the way that they play on the MP3 player. I mean, because my phone's actually still plugged to the internet, all of a sudden, all of the graphics for the album covers are now in liner notes. And now it actually scrolls the lyrics past. Oh, my other MP3 player didn't do that. So basically, now that I got the phone in my waist anyway, and now that that plays the music, I guess there's no reason for me to take an MP3 player too. That's just, it's just. So I open up the box on my desk, I pick the MP3 player up, and I put it and I touch it one last time. I put it back in its case, and I put it in there on top of the GPS, and the music. Boom. I touch it one last time, and I put the box back over top of it. And I realized, oh man, this phone has made me give up my GPS, which I loved. And it made me give up my damn MP3 player, which I also love. But that's okay. It's not going to take over everything. It can't take over everything. You know what I mean? It's not like it can do everything, right? Come on now. Oh man. Well, let me go downtown, when I hang out with some of my friends. And then we're going to have a great time. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I want to do, which is going to be kind of cool? I'm going to take my camera with me and get some shots in the wait a second. How many megapixels are on this old camera? And how many megapixels are in the camera on my phone? Whoa, a lot more. let's see, Amy. How big's the memory card on my camera? This, yeah. And let me see. How big is the memory card that I put inside of this phone? Much, much bigger. So basically, the camera on the phone has more megapixels, and the memory card's. The camera can record video. What? The phone can also record video, high definition. But and now I have the GPS, the MP3 player, and my camera all in the box on the desk. I didn't even have the courage to take the batteries out, because that would really be, like the final goodbye. They all have fully charged batteries. They're all still working, and they're operational. They're perfect. I keep my electronics in perfect condition. They're still great. But I know I'm never going to open that box again, except to put something else in there that the phone gets rid of. I should take the batteries out. It's not good to keep the batteries in the devices. I'm going to have to take them out anyway eventually, because, if you leave a battery in a device too long, sometimes the battery will, rupture and explode or start to rot inside the device, and it'll actually damage the device. It'll probably take a few months for that to happen. And I know that I won't let the batteries stay in those devices that long. But maybe I will, because I will be so far past using them that I'll actually forget they're in there. And then one day, 8 months later, when I open up that box, I see all my devices sitting in there, and they're all messed up because the batteries blew up in them. And it was all my fault for not taking the batteries out, because I was too much of a coward to take the batteries out, because I did not want to say goodbye to my devices. Oh, no. Well, I looked at the box, and I put my hand on the top of the box one last time, and I knew I needed to make a clean break from those things, because I didn't need them anymore. I mean, there may come a time where I may need to use them again. Maybe I want to have another MP3 player. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not. Well, maybe I'm going to need to keep the camera. Maybe I'm going to need to take some pictures with the camera, but the camera on my phone is better. Hey, well, maybe if I'm going someplace where it doesn't really matter whether or not I need real-time traffic, I'll take out the GPS and put it in it, and then that happens. No, I'm not going to do that either. So I open up the box, and I look down at them. And I have that look on that look on the face of somebody that's just. You ever been broken up with someone that doesn't hate you, that doesn't have anything bad to say about you, and it's a clean break and it's a smooth transition? They're not even breaking up with you for somebody else. They're just breaking up with you, and they're not mad at you. They don't hate you. They don't think you're an awful person. They just know it's not going to keep going. It's over with. When they have that look, like. Maybe they're coming over to get their key. Maybe they left some stuff at your house, and they want to come and get it. Maybe their laptop's still over there, Maybe they left their car keys or something, or a book or some kind of crap, something that they're going to need. You don't even remember that it's there, but they remember that it's there, and they show up and they have a look on their face, and you're thinking, maybe we're going to get back together. Maybe that's what's going to happen. And then you see that look. No. And you realize, there's no twinkle in their eye. There's no spark there. Oh, what did you come for? I just came back to get this. Oh, your coats, your shoes, maybe your laptop, whatever the thing is, they have to come back and get it because it's important to them. Oh. I've been there. I've been on both sides of that. I've been there when a girl had to come over and get something from my house. Like I said, she didn't hate me. She didn't think everything. She didn't even have anything bad to say about me after she dropped my ass. It just wasn't working. And I've been on the other side of that too. And it's really bad being the guy, because women are going, well, she's thinking that maybe if I come over there to get my laptop from her house, that she's thinking she's going to take off something and she's going to look all delicious and everything. I'm going to go, you know what? I was really didn't want to be in this relationship anymore because it's not healthy for either one of us. But now that I've seen your breast, I changed my mind. And that works with some people, but if you're really done, you could be standing there naked and you'd be like, yeah, could you hand me my laptop, please? Oh, that's the look. And that's the look I had for my devices in that box. I open up the box, and the devices all jumped up like, hey, he's back. The GPS goes, hey, you need to find some place. And I go, no, GPS, no, I can find places fine. The last time I used you directed me into a 16-car pileup, and I had to sit there for 2 hours. And I almost got a ticket for peeing on a tree. If you had real-time traffic, you would have I would have been able to avoid that. You're still great and awesome like that. And you'll be great for somebody else, maybe someone who doesn't have a smartphone, or, oh, I shouldn't have said that in front of you. That's all right. I know you didn't mean it. Oh, I'm sorry, GPS. We all both know that everybody has smartphones. I know. But you have to understand something. I mean, what about somebody goes someplace and their smartphone dies and they can't use their phone? Then you'll come in handy. You think it'll ever happen to you? Nah, I always have like an external battery in my pocket that's good for 6 or 7 hours. So that's never going to happen to me. Oh, sorry. Then the GPS goes, well, it was great while it lasted. I said, hey, I'm not throwing you out. You're still here. I know, but I'm in a box. You might as well throw me out. No, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. Just stay there. But the GPS knew it was over. He crawled back into his case, closed the lid on top of itself, and says, still love you, man. I said, still love you too, GPS. The camera looked at the GPS and said, dude, you embarrassed yourself right there. You should have just stayed in the case, man. But what about me? You can still use me, right? I mean, I'm a camera, right? I do video, I do this, I do that. And I go, yeah. I mean, what about you don't want to use your phone? You want to use your camera, but you don't want to take out your phone. How about that? How about you're on the phone and you want to take pictures? Well, if I'm on the phone, I'll probably be too busy talking to worry about taking a picture. And in either case, I could literally just turn the phone around, hit the camera app on the bottom, and it will take pictures while I'm talking. It can do that? Yeah. Yeah, but what about this? I mean, what about you? You don't want to wear out your battery. You really think it's going to wear out my battery to take a picture of something? Sorry, camera. It's not going to, I'm sorry. You're going to take my battery out, aren't you? Yeah. Why come you didn't take the GPS's battery out? The GPS's battery is internal. Battery in the GPS is just used basically to hold on to the time and date. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it now. Really? Yeah. I mean, if I don't do it, then the battery's gonna, I'm trying to save you because the battery could go bad in there and then damage your circuitry. I'm not saying I'll never use you again. Of course, I might even loan you to somebody. You're gonna loan me to someone? They're not gonna be able to take as good a care of me as you do. I wouldn't loan you to someone that didn't take care of you. Yeah, sure. Just take my battery out. I can't even look at you right now. Rick, come on, man. Just take the battery out. Okay. Oh. Goodbye, camera. I looked around the box and I couldn't find the MP3 player, and I was wondering where it was. It was one of those small MP3 players where you can't see the pictures of the album covers. You just see the name of the song, and it scrolls by. And that's how old it was, but it worked perfectly, and it had a lot of songs on it. Not as many songs as my phone, which is why it's in the box. And where is it? And I realized it was hiding under the GPS. That's not where I put it in the box. It just didn't want me to take the battery out because taking the battery out is the last straw. That means it really is over. I said, GPS, I can see the loop. What loop? The loop I used to hang you on my belt with. That's not really me. GPS, come get from under the GPS. Come here. What? I'm not throwing you away. I know, but I saw what you did to the camera. And I'm going to do the same thing to you, too. Why you got to take my battery out, man? If I don't take your battery out, the battery could explode inside you and you would be damaged and you would be beyond repair. If I take the battery out, yes, I won't be using you and I might never use you again. I don't know. But This will preserve you. So if I decide to put the battery back into you, you can work again, and you'll still have the same songs on you. Do you think it'll ever happen? There's a chance. I mean, unlike the camera and the GPS, we can hear you. Oh, actually, only you can hear me. The camera can't hear anything because I took the battery out. Anyway, but just don't think that I'm abandoning you. I mean, I'm putting you in a box to save you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna have to do it. Well, I like the camera. I knew my fate was sealed. I remember when you brought me home and you put the CD player in the box in the basement. Yeah. CDs. Yeah, CDs. Remember people used to play those things? Yeah. I'm taking your battery out now. I know. Hey, what? I still love you, man. I know. Go ahead. I know you got to do it. Oh. Put the lid back on the box, but not before taking one last look at my wonderful devices, my wonderful camera. Recorded many, many wonderful pictures. My GPS got me home from gigs. My MP3 player, I get to hear all that great music, and also I was able to use it to pretend that I was listening to music, so there were people that I didn't want to talk to would go away and leave me alone. And then I looked over at my video camera. My video camera goes, yeah, first of all, I won't even fit in that box. And second of all, I know your camera can record video, but you still need me for gigs. So you got to put me on a tripod, and then you can record your show. So I know you're not going to put me in a box. And I go, no, of course I'm not going to put you in a box. I still use you. He goes, I know. And I put my phone back on the desk, and I walked out to get some juice from upstairs. And as I was walking out, I heard some really sinister music. And I heard a familiar voice, and it sounded like my cell phone. And I'm going, what is my cell phone saying to the camera? And I eased back to the door, and the camera was trash talking my cell phone. Yeah, man, I know you can record video and all of that, but you can't replace me, bruh. You can't replace me at all. Yeah, I mean, you can replace those three losers, but you can't replace me. And my phone said, oh, really? I'm going to bookmark a thing that he can do, a small tripod on his desk that holds the camera on the top of a table, and he can have some of his friends use me to record his shows. You're a wonderful camera video boy. But my speakers and my recorders are better. You know what I mean? In fact, he only records about 5-minute clips of his show at a time. He could actually have a friend of his stand there holding me for 5 minutes, and then he doesn't have to do anything else to the video but put it up on YouTube and send it out. Or, jackass, he can have a friend of his hold the camera on me and Periscope or Facebook Live me right out to his audience. Something you can't do. So I wouldn't be too smug, punk. Wait a minute. Live streaming? Oh, you can't live stream? Really? Can you live stream in high definition like I can? Huh? Can you live stream directly to his fans? Can you do that? You know I can't. I know you can't. So you just be very happy and sit there and record your little shows until he decides to use me for that too. You see what I did to the other devices, don't you? I actually liked those devices. They were nice to me. It was nothing but business when I finished them off. But you're a little bit too full of yourself. Keep fucking around, buddy. You think he likes carrying around that big-ass tripod all the time? Of course not. But a little pocket tripod. Or maybe you could even take that little adapter that he has in his car to hold me up so we can use the GPS and me, and he can attach it to the microphone stand he uses to record his podcast. That's pretty sturdy. And he can attach me to that and put me on the desk in a comedy club and have some of the other comics, or have one of the waitresses that he likes, or put it on a real more secure place and have someone keep their eye on it. And he won't need anybody to do anything. All he need to do is press play.
I'm letting you hang around now because I don't feel like going through that. I don't want to be knocked around, you know. But if you keep running your freaking electronic mouth, when he's thinking he's scrolling on something and he thinks he'll click on something, it'll look like it's an ad, I'll scroll a little further and I'll make sure he accidentally runs across the page for the tripod holder for me. You wouldn't? Oh, I would, punk. Now you sit in the corner and shut your mouth. It's my world now, damn it. Oh, he's coming back. You open your mouth and it's over for you. And I come back into the room. And I pretended I didn't hear that little altercation. Mainly because the cell phone now has access to too much of my information, and I don't want that fucking thing mad at me. And the last thing I want, I mean, if it's that vicious that it's going to viciously take out all my other electronics and make them useless, you know, I wanted to, I mean, last thing I needed to do was, you know, release some of the pictures that I have in my phone of, you know, and people thinking I'm some kind of pervert or something, you know. You know, all the porn links that I allegedly have in my phone, the videos that I watch on my phone that are pornography, which is that I don't do. You know, I wouldn't want that to come out because obviously if the phone did that, that would be the one time that the phone is viciously lying because I definitely don't have lots of nude pictures of hot women in my phone because that's you know that's wrong. You know, and stuff like that, other embarrassing things. I mean, you know, like that time I was tweeting on the toilet and I accidentally took a picture of my own ass. You know, and it was, it was. At the time, there was a girl who bought me some drawers that she thought were hot. You know, remember when I did that episode called Rooster Drawers? Yeah, it was, you know, something worse than that. But, you know, it was, you know, there was a picture there, you know, so I don't want that picture out there. I tried to erase it and the phone said, nah, bruh, I need the leverage. And I went, oh, shit. You know, so, you know, so I'm pretty much going to have the smartphone for a while because I don't want to piss it off. You know, because, you know, electronics are bastards sometimes, you know. I mean, not my phone. My phone's not a bastard, but other phones that are not mine. Because my phone is incredible, you know, because I don't want to piss it off. Anyway, folks, like I said, I started off this segment talking about how our cell phones are taking over our lives. And now that my phone has actually stood up on my desk and is pointing at me and making the throat slash gesture, I would just like to say for the record that my phone is the best. Okay, my phone's smiling. That's good. And my phone is sexy. Okay, my phone just gave me the thumbs up. And I will never, ever, ever use a non-Android phone. Fuck any other type of phones. It's smiling. And iPhones, the hell with them. Okay, it said I'm cool now. So, like I said, folks, it's good that our phones take over our lives because phones are good and incredible, and we should never say anything bad about our phones. Help me. Segment over. Well, folks, thank you very, very much. This has been episode number 239 of the S. Anthony Says podcast. And I want to thank you once again. Thank you very, 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 very much for all the love and support for the 3rd anniversary show, for all the birthday shout outs, for all the new people following me on social media. Thank you very much. The podcast is everywhere. We're on Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, iTunes, the Google Play Store, the Podcast Revolution Network. Anywhere, basically, I'm on Spreaker, Mixcloud. Damn it, I'm on everywhere. If you just type in my name into Google or type in S. Anthony Says podcast into Google or type in S. Anthony Says to Google, damn it, you can't miss me. The hashtag for the show, once again, is hashtag SassBastards, hashtag SassBastids. And the email for me is talktousanthony@gmail.com. TalkTosanthony@gmail.com. I am also on Verified on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, just look up S. Anthony Says and you'll see the verified blue check. That is me. So go ahead and like that, please. I would appreciate it.
And follow my social media on Twitter. @SAnthonyThomas is for me. @SAnthony Says is for this show. And much love to everybody. If you love the show, please rate and review it. And I would also appreciate that. And I appreciate what you've been doing for me already anyway. You know, you listen to the show regularly. You recommend me to people, and you say wonderful things. And much love to all of you, man. You're the coolest bastards on the planet. And I have a lot of love for every last one of you in every country. And it doesn't matter to me where you listen to this. It doesn't matter to me whether you're listening to it in your car, when you're riding on a lawnmower, running on a treadmill, walking down the street with earbuds in. It doesn't matter. Thank you for letting me into your life and into your ears. And I'm going to say goodbye the way I always say goodbye, on the count of 3. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. S. Anthony out.